The Psychology of Wealth Creation, Tony Robbins. Imagine waking just before sunrise. The world's still wrapped in quiet anticipation. You sit at the edge of your bed, eyes closed, and breathe in the stillness. In that breath you sense possibility, vast field waiting for the seeds of your intentions. This is where the journey of wealth creation begins. Not with a balance sheet, but with a mindset. You recall the first time you felt true financial abundance. Perhaps it was the day your business first turned a profit, or when you saw your investment account climb past a milestone. But that moment wasn't magic. It was the result of beliefs you held, decisions you made, and habits you cultivated. It was psychology in action. In the earliest days of your venture, you believed success was for others, those more educated, better connected, luckier. That belief whispered in your ear whenever you faced risk. You second-guessed your pricing. You hesitated to pitch big clients. You played small. And playing small meant missing opportunities. Then you encountered a mentor, seasoned entrepreneur, who looked you in the eye and said, "Your wealth is held hostage by your beliefs. Free your mind and you free your finances." The words felt bold, almost reckless. Yet something stirred inside. You realized that while you'd studied markets and models, you'd never studied yourself. That week, you began your first experiment in mindset. Each morning, you stood before the mirror and spoke aloud new truths. I am worthy of abundance. Create value that people gladly pay for. Every setback brings me closer to my goal. The words felt awkward at first, but day after day, they gained power. Your posture shifted. Your tone deepened with conviction. As your internal narrative changed, so did your external reality. You found yourself asking for higher fees. You negotiated contracts with confidence. When prospects balked at your price, you listened to their objections, yes, but also to the yearning beneath them. You reframed your offer not as a cost, but as an investment in transformation. In month 2 of this mental reprogramming, you hit a snag. An investor meeting went cold. You'd prepared the numbers perfectly, but your questions seemed routine, your passion muted. Walking back to your car, disappointment gnawed at you. Your old belief, "I'm not persuasive enough," swelled. You could feel the old self creeping in. Rather than retreat, you paused. You took a seat on a park bench, closed your eyes, and asked, "What am I truly here to offer?" The answer arose swiftly. Freedom from uncertainty, from fear, from limits. You realized that your wealth creation wasn't about accumulating digits. It was about crafting freedom for yourself and others. Armed with this clarity, you returned to the drawing board. You rewrote your pitch to focus on stories of transformed lives. The single mother who scaled her side hustle into full-time income, the retiree who generated passive cash flow, the innovator whose idea found its market. Your energy crackled. The next investor meeting you delivered that story, and eyes lit up at the room. Funding followed. By the 3rd month, you saw that wealth creation demands both expansion and contraction. You expanded your vision, dreaming into new markets, new products, new possibilities. Yet you contracted your focus, choosing only the highest leverage activities. You recognized that saying no is a critical skill. Every declined distraction was a nudge toward your next breakthrough. In month 4, you wrestled with scarcity illusions. Reports of market downturns flashed across your screen. Competitors slashed prices. Headlines screamed recession. You felt the tug of fear. What if your plans unraveled? But you remembered your morning affirmations. You inhaled deeply and asked, "What if opportunity lies here?" You dug into the data. You spoke with customers. You found that in times of uncertainty, clarity and guidance become even more valuable. You designed a new offering, a premium concierge experience that guided clients through financial turbulence. Instead of discounting, you elevated. The response was electric. Your clients paid handsomely for certainty. A spring unfolded. You planted routines that grounded your psychology. You began each week with visualizations, in yourself closing deals, expanding assets, stewarding those assets wisely. You closed each day with gratitude, writing down 3 wins, however small: a client referral, savings milestone, a conversation that sparked insight. These rituals rewired your brain toward abundance. By month 6, halfway through your year of mindset mastery, you faced your greatest test, envy. A peer announced a massive funding round. Social media buzzed with congratulations. You felt the green tendrils of comparison creeping in. Why not me? Without pause, you recognized the pattern. Comparison corrodes confidence. You switched off the notifications. You focused instead on your own path. You reminded yourself that wealth is not a zero-sum game. Another's success need not diminish yours. In fact, you reached out to congratulate them sincerely.
Ow!
The connection blossomed into collaboration. You discovered that generosity and empathy are powerful catalysts for growth, both personal and financial. In month 7, you explored the hidden psychology of spending. You reviewed your own habits, spontaneous purchases, lifestyle creep, unconscious inertia. You realized that wealth isn't just about earning. It's about managing deliberately and mindfully. You introduced a daily check-in, a 2-minute pause before any non-essential spend. The simple act of questioning, do I value this more than my future freedom, slowed your impulses. Around this time, you also uncovered limiting beliefs about money's spirituality. In a conversation with a friend you admired for her philanthropic work, she shared, wealth is a seed. Without soil purpose and connection, it cannot grow truly. You felt a shift. Up until then, you'd pursued success, almost selfishly. You pledged to give back, set aside a portion of profits for initiatives that aligned with your values. That promise infused your efforts with deeper meaning. Closing. On month 8, you found that the outer game and inner game of wealth are inseparable. You joined a mastermind group where each member held you accountable not only for metrics, but for mindset markers. Courage, gratitude, generosity. You shared your struggles and triumphs. You discovered that vulnerability, once seen as weaknesses, actually a superpower. In month 9, results bloomed. Your revenue soared, yes, but more importantly, your confidence settled into a calm resilience. You pitched a major corporate partnership and negotiated terms that offered not just capital, but strategic collaboration. You've realized that real wealth creation often involves co-creating with others, leveraging shared vision for multiplied impact. As autumn painted the world in gold, you undertook an audit of your life. You asked, which beliefs still hold me back? You journaled and found a few holdovers: fear of failure, discomfort with visibility, impatience with progress. You tackled them one by one, writing new, empowering statements. Practicing public speaking at local events, setting micro goals to rebuild patience muscle. In month 11, you faced the ultimate litmus test of wealth psychology, legacy. You found yourself pondering, what do I want to leave behind? You envisioned not just financial assets, but a framework and ecosystem of entrepreneurs empowered by your teachings, a community sustained by your philanthropy. You drafted a mission statement for your life's work. On the final month of your journey, you pause to reflect. You walk through your milestones, the mindset shifts, the strategic pivots, the routines that anchored you. You saw how each internal change rippled outward, how a single thought can become a fortune, how belief drives behavior, how behavior sculpts destiny. With the year complete, you stand at a new threshold. You are wealthier in your bank account, but more importantly, in your mind, heart, and spirit. You have learned that true wealth creation is less about assembly lines or algorithms, and more about mastering the psychology within. Imagine now opening your eyes, the golden light of dawn, streaming through the window. You know that every dollar you earn carries the imprint of your beliefs. You carry forward not just a larger portfolio, but an empowered mindset, one that sees challenges as opportunities, values progress over perfection, and understands that generosity multiplies abundance. Your next chapter awaits. What mountains will you climb? What lives will you change? With this psychology of wealth etched into your soul, you hold the keys to infinite possibility. As you step into the day, you smile, for you know, true wealth was inside you all along.